So you wanna hear a story, traveler? You wanna hear a story about the legends of Dofus and the Dragon Peak dungeon? I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about one of the best games I ever played on my life. One of the games that made me not sleep at night. Just playing non-stop. Just picking up everything I needed just to defeat the Dragon Pig. So what's up in your head, everyone? My name is Weissmore, and today I'll tell you a story. I know I don't do this often, but I wanted to make a different sort of video. My childhood favorite game was called Dofus. Dofus was a game mostly played on France, Portugal, and Brazil, so you probably will not have heard of it if you didn't live in one of these countries. Dofus tells a story about 6 dragon powerful eggs. They were called Dofus and they were the most powerful item on the game. As a little kid of course I wanted the 6 Dofus. In the game there were 12 races. It was called the World of 12. And my favorite race was called the Yop. I had almost all Dofus that I needed. I was a really high level character. I was not the best. I didn't have the highest level possible because it was really hard to get it on the time. As a Yop, the race I was playing with, I really needed the best armor ever. There was one Dofus that I really wanted. It was called the Sapphire Dofus. The Sapphire Dofus was only dropped in one of the most difficult dungeons of the game, the Dungeon of Dragon Pig. I read a lot and I searched a lot just because I really wanted that Dofus. The thing was, the drop rate of that Dofus was really low. It was like 0.001 or something like that, so I needed help. What I did was I created a guild. My guild was called the Legends of Dofus, and I united a big amount of people just to know more about that dungeon. We really needed that Dofus. And I wanted to become powerful. We needed a race that was high level, that had the ability to drop that item, because not all races were good to drop items. There was one race that was really good at dropping items that was called eheh. So when I had everyone that I needed money for my armor, and I needed money for the weapon I really wanted to defeat the Dragon Pig. So, for almost 1 week, I almost didn't sleep. I'm sorry, but this is just so much fun. I had so much fun at the time, but earning money on Dofus was so hard, you can't believe it. I was an alchemist on the time. I used to make health potions, but I needed to sell the health potions I was making to earn some money to buy my armor. So I was all night just picking up 4-leaf clovers. That's what I needed to make the potions. But the thing is, the 4-leaf clovers were not that easy to find. So I would choose like 4 maps, because we will move through maps. It's kinda weird to explain, but I'm gonna show some clips of the game on the video. And basically we moved through maps, and I needed to pick up 4-leaf clovers on certain maps. So I will go to this map, pick up the 4-leaf clover, go to that map, pick it up, go to that map, pick it up, go to the first, pick it up, and I will do that cycle over and over and over and over again. Just to have the money to go to the dungeon. And guess what? I earned it. I think it was 2 million gold that was called Kama on the game, and I did it. I earned the gold and I earned the armor I really wanted. So the time had come. I just thought, yeah, I'm just gonna to enter on the dungeon with my really badass team, with my eheh that was going to drop the Dofus, and we were gonna do it. But guess what? I didn't research enough. The thing was, the dungeon had a really big maze on the beginning of the dungeon, and if you failed one little step, you will fall into a pit of freaking monsters all over the place that will just kill you. Because they were so strong and you just couldn't get away from them. They would attack you and you needed to fight. You cannot run. If you run away from a battle, there's an option saying run or get out. You will die. And you will get out of the dungeon. And I didn't tell you guys this, but to enter a dungeon, you needed keys. And the key to enter the Dragon Peak dungeon, it was not only really hard to make, but it was super expensive. So there was no room for mistakes. We didn't research enough, but the thing was, we died at our first attempt. We lost the keys, and we didn't go further than the second room. I know it's so strange, but it's true. We were so strong, but we couldn't do it because we didn't know the maze. And one thing on Dofus 1.29, I don't know if it is like that now, but when you enter a dungeon, you couldn't talk with anyone that was on the outside. So we were like, what do we do now? Captain, because I was a captain of the guild. What do we do now? Do we go front, we go right, and we couldn't do anything. We simply fell and we died to the monsters. After that, we decided that we needed to talk with one of the players that was playing Dofus since almost beta. We went into him and we asked, what is the maze? And guess what? He told us. He told us what is the maze to get into the final room. He did, and we were like so excited. We needed to do it, and we did it. We actually freaking did it. We went to the first room, the second, the third, the fourth, and we were like, oh my gosh, when is this gonna end? We took so much health potions there, we took so much bread, because the bread used to give us life. We took so much items to just prevail through all the battle, because you couldn't heal yourself in the battle. You just could heal in the end of the battle, so you really needed to just think, okay, what we need for this battle, what we need to eat before going into this battle, what is the position we are going to make. And oh my gosh, it was so difficult that I took 8 real life hours to go through the dungeon. And I'm not kidding, I took 8 hours. It was actually a weekend on that time, but I took 8 hours of a Saturday, it was a Saturday, to go through the dungeon. But you can't believe what happened in the end. We dropped the Sapphire Dofus. We did. I don't know if, oh my gosh, I don't know if the Sapphire Dofus is still droppable. Droppable? If it is still droppable on the Dragon Pig dungeon. It was called the Calabouço do Dragão Porco in Portuguese, but yeah, I don't know if it is still droppable. But the thing was, as my guild was so united, and I just worked so hard to go to that dungeon, you know what happened? I didn't drop the Dofus, the Enotrof did, but he said, Captain, here's the Dofus, and he gave me the Dofus. I will never forget that moment, and if the players is watching now, and if you met someone called Aragots on the game, you're the man. Like, thank you so much, I was so happy at the time. In the game, that Dofus had a value of 50 million gold. It was so valuable because he gave you so much damage. Oh my gosh, I love talking about Dofus because it's such a game that just made my freaking childhood. I will never forget a game like that, and I will never probably find a game like that again. It was just simply a game that you wanted to be the best, you wanted to just go to all the dungeons there were in the game, you wanted to drop the best items, you wanted to have the best guild. There was so much things to do on the game, but unfortunately it's not like that again. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good game, and some of you might even start to play the game after this video, and I hope you do, honestly, because the game is good, and I'm not being paid to say this. I just really want to say that it was so much fun to play that game on the time. The Dofus 1.29, that I will never on my life forget the adventures I had with the Legends of Dofus guild. We have so much more adventures I can share with you guys. But I don't know, I think for one video the story is done. I don't know why did I wear this hat, I just wanted to tell you guys the story. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's a really different sort of video, I know. I never done a video like this, and actually the person who inspired me to do this video, it was a YouTuber called Spazzy that did a video about a game called Tibia, telling stories about his childhood game, but I never seen someone talk about Dofus. I don't see anyone talking about Dofus, and I was like, man, I want to share these stories with you guys. I really want to share, so there you go. There you go, the story of the Dragon Peak dungeon. It was so much fun, and I still can't believe I got the Dofus. I don't really have my account anymore because I was hacked in the time. It was really sad for me. That's also one of the reasons why I stopped playing, but it's this. So I don't know if you guys want more stories of Dofus. If you don't want, that's okay. It's just going to be a video that I just wanted to share something from my childhood with you guys. But if you enjoy, do not forget to share with your friends. Maybe share with friends that also play Dofus in the time. Maybe friends that also miss Dofus so much. I really do miss Dofus, but every time I get back, I'm like, it's not the same. It will never be the same, and I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that because I will never forget the adventures I had. I will never forget the friends I made when I played that game. Because it was really good, a really good game. Dofus, I will never forget that game. I was called Aragos. I don't really know. But yeah, everyone. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. A different video again, but it was nice. It was nice to talk with you guys. Tell me in the comments if you had a really good childhood game you miss. I don't know. I'm sure some of you have played a game in the childhood that you don't play anymore because of the stupid updates or something like that, but yeah, so I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. So with all this said, don't forget to leave a like in this video and comment wherever you want, and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye!